using these participant observation methods, is that their interface with the medical system was an absolute and total nightmare. And the way it worked was, as you see from the pictures, there were no resources for them in daily life on the outside. But when they would fall down on the ground and be dying or smelling badly enough, someone would call 911, and then they would be rushed into the, despite the fact that they would have spent months before that, with very visibly at all the interstices, flying these signs, and they would end up in this extraordinary high-tech care that we have, miraculous high-tech care, literally Lazarus-like high-tech care, where they would be brought back from death, essentially. Sometimes it would take. They would be six weeks in intensive care units, and they would be given the absolute state-of-the-art health care, because this was a teaching institution where they were training residents in all of the state-of-the-art forms of medicine, and using them to practice on the bodies of the homeless. And they were doing they did a beautiful job on it, technically. And then as soon as, and they would recover. And it was just extraordinary to see these folks that had been injecting heroin, smoking crack, drinking alcohol, more or less every day for the past 30 years, and living lives of tremendous trauma in terms of their own relationships to their families and so forth. They had very destructive lives, very violent lives, often very criminal lives. And as soon as they could hobble, because of the structure of it's called what's it called in the hospital? Internal something review. But basically, as soon as you can walk, you're let out of the hospital because it costs so many thousands of dollars in the hospital. They'd be given a cane and sent out. And they would go right back to their homeless encampments. There you see him. He's just been released to the hospital, so he's well dressed still. He's clean. He's gained about 20, 30 pounds. He went in completely unconscious in a 911 emergency vehicle. Came out about a month and a half later. He's hung his cane that he hobbles with on the tree, and he's back to injecting in his environment. So it would take him about 6 weeks, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, for his condition to refester into a condition that was serious enough to make him